Hello children, welcome to this English class. Do you remember what you learnt in the last class? You learnt the first two stanzas of the poem, The Stick Together Families, written by Edgar Albert Guest. Could you remember it? Yes, very good. Now today, as I already said, the poem has 4 stanzas. In today's session, you are going to learn the next 2 stanzas. Children, here is a video on healthy relationships.
Now that you're in your teens, you may feel like you want to spend less time with your family and more time with your friends. During this time, some of your friendships may deepen while others might fade away. And some of your friendships may even become romantic. Being in a healthy relationship, whether a friendship or a romantic relationship, can be fun, but it can also be complicated. So here are some rules to follow to make sure your friendships are healthy. In a healthy relationship, each person supports and encourages the other. Real friends want to know what you're thinking and feeling, and they'll be interested in what you have to say. It's okay to have disagreements, even in a healthy relationship, but it's important to do so respectfully and talk openly about it with each other. Sometimes in a relationship, you'll need to compromise. But in a healthy relationship, the same person should not be the one who always compromises. It's important for both people to give and take. Finally, it's important to treat your relationships with care. And if a friend or romantic partner makes you feel small, teases you, or physically or sexually pushes you into doing things that you don't really want to do, then this might not be a healthy relationship for you. Remember, a healthy relationship, whether just a friendship or a romantic relationship, should make you feel good about yourself and who you are. After all, you are pretty great.
See, how do they come out of their misunderstanding and retain their relationship? This is what we call healthy relationship. Now, I do a small recap of the first 2 stanzas that you have learnt in the previous session. In the first stanza, the poet brings out the differences in the attitude of children living in a joint family and nuclear family. The stick-together families are the happiest of all, whereas the brothers and sisters of nuclear families take separate ways. The gladdest people are the children from joint family who spend their time happily by circling around the fireside. No power other than death can break them. In the second stanza, the poet said that the rich and poor folk imagine themselves to be wise, and in the process, they shatter their family ties. Each of them goes in search of pleasure in their own selected ways, but ultimately they harvest only bitterness and find empty joy. But the wisest among them are the children of the stick-together families. Now let us deal with the next 2 stanzas, shall we? There are some who seem to fancy that for gladness they must roam, that for smiles that are the brightest they must wander far from home, that the strange friend is the true friend, and they travel far astray. They waste their lives in striving for a joy that is far away. But the gladdest sort of people, when the busy day is done, are the brothers and the sisters who together share their fun. It is the stick-together family that wins the joys of earth, that hears the sweetest music and that finds the finest mirth. It is the old home roof that shelters all the charm that life can give. There you find the gladdest playground. There the happiest spot to live. And, O weary, wandering brother, if contentment you would win, come you back unto the fireside and be comrade with your kin. Before getting into the poem, let me introduce some new words and its meanings from the stanza 3 and 4. Now let us see the glossary. What do you mean by fancy? It is feel, a desire, or liking for. Fancy means feel a desire or liking for. Gladness means feeling joy or pleasure. What do you mean by roam? Move about or travel aimlessly. Astray. What do you mean by astray? Away from the correct path or correct way of doing something. Strive means make great efforts to achieve or obtain something. Mirth. What do you mean by mirth? It is laughter or humor or happiness. What do you mean by weary? It is a feeling or showing extreme tiredness. Contentment. It means a state of happiness and satisfaction. What is comrade? It means a friend. Now let us read stanza 3. There are some who seem to fancy that for gladness they must roam, that for smiles that are the brightest they must wander far from home, that the strange friend is the true friend and they travel far astray. They waste their lives in striving for a joy that's far away. But the gladdest sort of people when the busy day is done are the brothers and the sisters who together share their fun. Now let us see the line by line meaning of the poem. There are some who seem to fancy that for gladness they must roam, that for smiles that are the brightest they must wander far from home. Why do they roam? They roam to find happiness in their selected way. According to them, when do they get bright smiles? They think that they get bright smiles when they wander far away from home. That the strange friend is the true friend and they travel far astray. They waste their lives in striving for a joy that is far away. Who makes you to go astray? A strange friend, whom we think as a true friend, makes us go astray. See, look at the picture here. The strange man guides the followers to a wrong way. So this is what we called astray. What are they striving for? They are striving for a joy that is far away and waste their life. What do you mean by striving? Working hard. So they work hard to get joy. But in reality, they don't find the real enjoyment. But the gladdest sort of people when the busy day is done are the brothers and the sisters who together share their fun. Who are the gladdest people? The gladdest people are the children from joint family. Explain the phrase when the busy day is done. Busy day means that the hard-working day has come to an end. In this stanza, the poet says, some people think that they have to roam far away from house to find happiness. But it is not so. He says happiness is not gained through roaming and making strangers as friends. A strange friend is not necessarily a good friend. They waste our life by making us go in a wrong way. That is what we call astray. But the gladdest people are brothers and sisters who spend their time with family after their busy day is done, and together they share their fun. Now let us go on to the fourth stanza. It is the stick-together family that wins the joys of earth, that hears the sweetest music, and that finds the finest myth. It is the old home roof that shelters all the charm that life can give. There you find the gladdest playground, there the happiest spot to live. And oh weary, wandering brother, if contentment you would win, come you back unto the fireside and be comrade with your kin. It is the stick-together family that wins the joys of earth, that hears the sweetest music and that finds the finest myth. Who wins the joys of earth? The people who live unitedly with their relatives are called stick-together families. They win the joys of earth. How do they find their joy? They find their joy by hearing the sweetest music. It is the old home roof that shelters all the charm that life can give. There you find the gladdest playground, there the happiest spot to live, which gives the charm of life. The old house shelters all the charm of life. What does the gladdest playground refer here? The gladdest playground refers to the old house, which is also the happiest spot to live. And oh weary wandering brother, if contentment you would win, come you back unto the fireside and be comrade with your kin. How does a weary wandering brother win contentment? By coming back to the family. A weary wandering brother wins contentment. What does the poet say to the wandering brother? The poet invites wandering brothers to come and join the stick-together families and spend their time at fireside and have fun. In this final stanza, the poet again talks about the stick-together family to highlight its values. The members of stick-together family win the joys of earth. The home they live in is the gladdest playground. The wanderers can find contentment there. In the lost line, the poet asks the wandering brother to come back to the fireside and be friended with the members of his family, that is kin, the relatives. Now let us see the consolidated part of the two stanzas. In a stick-together family, everyone gets unconditional love. The thread of love binds them forever. The poet feels that instead of wandering far and wide in search of adventure and love, it is the best thing to get attached with the family and find happiness in the family. It is always a pleasure to come back to their own family. Life can be joyful and meaningful only when brothers and sisters are emotionally attached with each other. Now let us see the literary appreciation of the poem. First, let us deal with the rhyming pair and rhyme scheme. How do you find rhyming pairs? Look at the last words of the given poem lines, then pick out the words which has similar sounds. For example, earth, myth, give, live, win, kin are the words which have similar sounds. Hence, they are called rhyming pairs. And what is rhyme scheme? And how do you find rhyme scheme for a given stanza? First, you should write or underline the rhyming words identified. Pair Pair the rhyming words and give A, B, C which has same ending. Here in this poem, the first and second, the third and the fourth, the fifth and the sixth poetic lines are ended with same rhythm. Hence, the rhyme scheme employed in the entire poem is A, A, B, B, C, C. Now let us deal with the rhyme scheme and rhyming pair for this stanza. There are some who seem to fancy that for gladness they must roam, that for smiles that are the brightest they must wander far from home. See, what are the last words of these two lines? Roam, home. And how do you name it? A. And the other two lines, what are the rhyming pairs? Astray, away. And how do you name it? B. And what are the rhyming pairs for the last two lines? Done, fun. And how do you name it? C. Hence, what are all the rhyming pairs? Roam, home, astray, away, done, fun. And what is the rhyme scheme employed here? A, B, C. Okay. Now it is your turn to find out the rhyming pairs and the rhyme scheme for this stanza. See, what are the rhyming pairs given here? Earth, myth. And how do you name it? A. And what about the rhyming pairs of the third and fourth lines? Give, live. And how do you name it? B. And what are the rhyming pairs for the last two lines? Win, kin. And how do you name it? C. See, what is the rhyme scheme for this stanza? A, B, C. And what are all the rhyming pairs? Earth, myth, give, live, win, kin. Okay. What are all the other figure of speech employed in the poem? First, let us deal with the figure of speech alliteration. How do you identify words that are in alliteration? In a single poetic line, some words have same consonant sounds in the beginning. They are called alliterated words or words in alliteration. For example, then the brothers and the sisters who take separate highways are. Sisters and separate are the words in alliteration. Hence, they have same consonant sounds in the beginning. Now pick out the words in alliteration for the given line. Are the brothers and the sisters who together share their fun. In the given line, the words sisters and share have same consonant sounds in the beginning, so they are the words in alliteration. That hears the sweetest music, that finds the finest mirth. What are the words in alliteration? Music, mirth, finds, finest are the words in alliteration, because these words have same consonant sounds in the beginning. Now I think children you understand what is alliteration and how do you find alliterated words for the given poetic line. Now let us deal with the next figure of speech, metaphor. What is a metaphor? A metaphor is a hidden comparison of two different things. They are not related to each other but have some common qualities. For example, life is a journey. Here, life is compared to journey. See, life and journey are two different things, and here they have some common qualities, and so life is compared with journey, hence it is a metaphor. And let us see one more example. Laughter is the best medicine. Here, laughter is compared to medicine. Okay, understand? Now find out the figure of speech in the following lines. It is the old home roof that shelters all the charm that life can give. There you find the gladdest playground, there the happiest spot to live. There you find the gladdest playground, there the happiest spot to live. What is the figure of speech employed here? Metaphor. Why? Here family is compared to roof. Family and roof are two different things and they are compared with each other for us one same quality. What is that same quality? Family and roof give shelter. So that it is compared here and hence it is called metaphor. And now let us deal with personification, the next figure of speech. What is a personification? Personification is a figure of speech in which a thing or an animal is given human qualities so that we feel they have the ability to act like human beings. For example, when we say the sky weeps, we are giving the sky the human ability to cry. Crying is a human quality, you know. Hence, it is called a personification. Understand? Now, find out the figure of speech in the following line. It is the stick-together family that wins the joys of earth. Here, winning is the quality of a human being. Hence, the stick-together family wins the joys of earth like a person. And so, we can say personification is the figure of speech employed here. Understand? How do you identify figure of speech? Metaphor, personification or alliteration. I hope children you have understood the figure of speech. Do you know why these figure of speech is employed by the poet? In order to add beauty to the poem. So that all these figure of speech employed by a poet in the poem. Now choose the right answer. Children, here these questions are for to check your understanding. Children, here these questions are given in order to check your understanding. First question, we should be dash with our kin. What is the right answer? Friendly or sad? Yes, you are right. We should be friendly with our kin. And the second sentence, the dash family is the happiest family. Nuclear or joint, which is the happiest family? The nuclear family or the joint family? Yes, absolutely, you are right. The joint family is the happiest family. The dash from joint family or the wisest, children or workers? Children, yes, right. The children from joint family or the wisest. Stick together family hears the dash music. What type of music they hear? Sweetest or melodious? Yes, you are right. Stick together family hears the sweetest music. The dash people circle at the fireside. Whether saddest or gladdest? Yes, right. The gladdest people circle at the fireside. Now children, say true or false for the following sentences. The strange friend is the true friend. It is false statement, right? Then which is the correct one? The strange friend is not necessarily a true friend. The finest conventions or the little family gatherings. Yes, this sentence is the true sentence. The nuclear family wins the joys of earth. Yes, you are right. This statement is false. Then which is the right statement? The stick together family wins the joys of earth. The old home shelters all the charm. Yes, you are right. This statement is true. The stick together families are sad. You are right. The given statement is false. The stick together families are always happy. Answer the following questions. There are some who seem to fancy that for gladness they must roam, that for smiles that are the brightest they must wander far from home. Why do they roam? They roam to find happiness in their selected way. According to them, when do they get bright smiles? They think that they get bright smiles when they wander far away from home. But the gladdest sort of people, when the busy day is done, are the brothers and the sisters who together share their fun. Who are the gladdest people? The children from joint family are the gladdest people. When do they share their fun? They share their fun when the busy day is over. What does who refers to the brothers and sisters of stick together families? It is the stick together family that wins the joys of earth, that hears the sweetest music, and that finds the finest mirth. Who wins the joys of earth? The stick together family wins the joys of the earth. How do they find their joy? They find their joy hearing the sweetest music. Now, children, you have to answer in a paragraph. The given paragraph is, the stick together families are the happiest of all. Explain. How do you write a paragraph for this question? Here, the poet emphasizes the value of relationships in a family. People in a joint family enjoying their holidays by gathering around the fireside. They sing song and share their fun. The brothers and sisters have their family meeting under the sun. They share their fun and win the joy of earth. Family get-together brings a harmony and develops bondage among the relatives. The thread of love which binds everyone to strengthen the unity among them. Other than death, nothing can break their unity. For all these reasons, the stick-together families are the happiest of all. Now children, you have to do some activities for the following questions. Pick out the rhyming pairs, write a critical appreciation of the poem, create your family tree, write a 4-line poem on your own by using the given rhyming words. What are the rhyming words? Head, good, world, behold. By applying all these rhyming words, you have to write a 4-line poem on your own. Can you try, children? Very good. Dear children, now we have learnt the whole poem. I hope you have understood the poem and enjoyed it. Now take your text and read the poem aloud. Then write the summary of the poem. Thank you, children. All the best. God bless you.